Hello, happy Freedom Friday. Ooh. So, okay, let me just start off by saying I canceled last week's Freedom Friday because my energy was in like quite a crappy place. Um Energy as in like I was feeling kind of low. And interestingly, it actually led to the realization that I'm going to be talking about in this Freedom Friday, which led to some shifts that I've made, which have been incredible already this week alone. So, oh yeah, but I was gonna, I was gonna cancel, or I did cancel last week. So this is the first one of 2025, and I wasn't gonna cancel it again, but I was awake for 3 hours in the middle of the night. My brain decided, let's just be awake. So yeah. Oh no, is my laptop keeps disconnecting and whatever. But okay, so I'm going to tell you now about this mindset block that I realized was coming up for me to do with how I was approaching business. And this has really given me a deeper understanding of productivity in business and how I approach working on my business in the day to day in general. So, the thing that I noticed was I was kind of getting a bit miserable. I was showing up in business, I was doing what I needed to do, but it felt icky. It felt like not fun. I was avoiding, well, I wasn't avoiding, but I wanted to avoid any of my responsibilities like the plague, to be completely honest. And I realized that I was only allowing myself to do the hard things. I was only allowing myself to do the things that felt like work. That felt like it felt like I could prove to the people around me that I was working hard. But you know what? I am an ambitious person. I do value a good work ethic, but if you're only ever doing the hard things, it's it's gonna feel crap. And that's not why we got into business. And the thing was, so I would do the hard things. I'd look at my to-do list for the day and be like, okay, eat the frog kind of thing. Like, what do I need to get done? And then afterwards, I can feel like, whew, okay, I did the hard thing. But even after that, I would be looking for more difficult things that weren't part of my business that I enjoyed. So I was only doing the things I didn't enjoy and not getting to work on the fun things that, not even, I wasn't giving myself the chance to listen to my intuition, to be like, you know what I would love to do right now? Insert thing here. Oh my God, I'm feeling like a download is coming through for this training that I'm doing soon. Right, let's just go for it. And then when you find that flow and it's just like you listen to your intuition and it's like boo 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 boo, boo and you're typing like a crazy woman, crazy man, crazy whatever. And I just really was never allowing myself to get to that point because it felt like, no, this is going to get deep, okay? It felt like I was punishing myself for not having reached certain goals at this point. There were there are certain goals that like I would have liked to have hit by now that I haven't. And I'll put my hands up and say that that's true. But we're all ambitious people. We all kind of, we aim high here. These are like pretty intense goals anyway. But by not reaching them, it was like, well, okay, I have to prove to the people around me that I am working hard, that I am, putting in I'm getting my skin in the game. I'm like, oh, my skin is crawling even just saying it. But it's like, well, the people around me who would probably look at me and be like, maybe it's time to get a 9 to 5. The people probably aren't thinking that. It was probably just a mindset thing. But like in my head, that's what other people around me were thinking. Oh, she should probably just get a 9 to 5, give up on this business thing. I mean, my business is making money. My business is doing better than it was this time last year. So I can't I can't complain. But you know what we're like? We ambitious humans, we just want to keep going bigger, bigger, bigger. Okay, oh, I'm gonna set the most ridiculous goal. Okay, let's go. And then like it's exciting, but then if we don't hit those goals, this is something people don't talk about because nobody wants to admit that they haven't hit goals that they set for themselves. And yet it's happening to all of us, like, and we're all just like hush hush about it because there's so much marketing about I hit this goal in 2 months. Do you know what I mean? So the thing was, I wanted to look like I was working hard to prove that it was still worth showing up, showing up for my goals, showing up for my business, showing up for insert whatever explanation of it here. But can we just have a look at how punishy and icky that feels? Like, okay, so you don't get the benefit. Okay, so like let's say you're in that situation and you're maybe not quite hitting certain goals that you want to be hitting at this point. And you're like, okay, so you don't get the benefit of like the cherry on top of that is hitting the goals because you just haven't hit them yet. That's fine, right? But you're also not getting the benefit of all the other incredible parts of being your own boss. You're not getting the benefit of, I get to choose what I do today. I'm going to have the most fun day ever in business. You don't get that benefit because you're like, where is the hardest thing that's going to be the most disgusting task I could do? And you do that. So you're not getting the benefit of the result or the journey. Now, here's the thing, I'm all about options. Everything I do is for freedom of choice. Like my three biggest drivers: financial freedom, geographical freedom, time freedom, in no particular order, right? The three freedoms. Uh, for those things, to have those things, you need to have, I mean, you're going to have options. But when you have options, you have all the power to choose, which is a blessing and a curse. Like, okay, I have the power to choose what I do today. But God forbid there's any kind of mindset stuff going on. If there's a belief in there somewhere that's like, business has to be hard, or I'm going against the grain by having a business rather than having a 9 to 5 job, any of those things that make it feel harder to go down the route that you've chosen, if anything along those lines or thereabouts is going on in your little brain, your cute little adorable brain, then having options becomes a bit of a curse because you're going to choose the option that's hard. You're going to choose, oh, what, like how I found myself, like how can I choose the harder thing because that's probably the thing that's going to push me forward towards my goals faster, right? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And I've been doing some tapping on that this week because quite frankly that's just bullshit. And it's been very interesting how that's changed even just this week. Like I've already seen incredible, I would call them like wink wink nudge nudges from the universe. Like I said to Patrick last weekend, I was like, I've been really hard on myself. Like I'm kind of the type of person, I'm gonna be hard on myself anyway, in a way that pushes me, but I've been hard on myself in a way that was just feeling a bit crap. And I was like, I've been kind of too hard on myself with the day to day of my business. I want it to feel more fun. That's the whole point of this. Like, if I wanted a boring job, or not even boring, if I wanted a job that felt heavy, I would have just gotten a job. I wouldn't have become my own boss. You know, like it should, yeah, there's going to be hard things, but it should be primarily woo, woo, la la. We're having fun. We're having the time of our fucking lives because I can come on Instagram live or YouTube live and say things like having the time of my fucking life. And it's not like being on a Zoom meeting with your corporate team who are like, oh, please don't use language like this. And you have to like dim your light down, you know, that kind of way. So this has been really interesting. So the shifts that I've made this week, I was like, I am going into this week. Yes, there are still things that I have to do that are have tos that aren't like the most fun thing ever. But first of all, I'm lucky I have systems to help me speed those babies up. And second of all, I am going out of my way to schedule in the fun bits. I will make damn sure that every single day there's at least 1 hour. I've called it in my calendar. What did I call it? I called it like soul something. I put a little fiery heart emoji, soul fire hour, right? And then in the description of it, I said, what work do I actually want to do right now? And I gave myself some ideas. Is it YouTube stuff? Is it editing stuff? I quite like editing. Sometimes I'll just, you know, go into another little world. Is it brainstorming social media stuff? Because when you actually give yourself time and space to do that, that becomes fun and not a stressful thing. Is it creative writing stuff? I haven't said this, but recently, like a week or two ago, I had the most incredible, like in my opinion, the most incredible idea for not just a book, but a book series. And it's probably like in full, it's probably like a 20-year project. It's huge. Even for someone who's a productivity strategist, it's a 20-year project because you can't really systemize writing novels. But um but like giving myself the time and space to do that, because technically, yeah, that's part of my career too. I have creative writing goals. It might not be directly aligned with my business. It might not be directly to do with more to life, but it is the embodiment of what I'm teaching here. What I'm teaching here is, you know what? I have this in a document that words it in a way that I couldn't possibly come up with on the spot. So I am here to end the epidemic of busy by helping people cut their busy work in half so that they can spend more time doing what lights their soul on fire. So, is it an embodiment of that to close myself in to only the hard things? No. Is that inspiring my dream clients? No. Is that leading by example? No. And like, I'm not this isn't me shaming myself. This is really just a moment of self-awareness and like, okay, all right, this stuff takes consistent effort. We noticed we went a little bit off course and now we're course correcting. Now we're back on track with like, okay, leading with what lights my soul on fire. And the way that I had been running my business, the way I felt I had to, was, like I said, not what I stand for. I do stand for work ethic and oh, let's fucking go, and being excited about what this stuff can bring and what having your own business can bring. But also, I believe that it should feel like the best thing ever. And even since I've made these shifts at the start of the week, I have woken up. I've been getting out of bed way quicker because, to be honest, for the past month or so, and yeah, we had Christmas and all, so that was kind of part of it. But on work days, my alarm would go off. I like getting up early, but my alarm would go off and I would lie there for half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, because I didn't want to start my day, because of course I didn't want to start my day. I was only allowing myself to do the things I don't like doing. And now I'm like, my alarm goes off and I'm like, okay, I want to get up like right now because I get to do all of this fun stuff today. I get to lead my life in a way that lights me up. Like, I don't have to do this. I don't have to have a business. I have chosen this for myself. I get to have a business. I get to plan out YouTube videos. I get to map out a free masterclass in a few weeks' time. You may have seen something scheduled on my YouTube. But anyway, details coming soon. But like, I get to do this stuff, and that is how it should feel. And uh, so even since implementing this new it's not even a strategy, it's like a new energetic approach, a new just a refreshed outlook on my business. A couple of pretty incredible things have happened. I've had the dreamiest clients in my DMs looking at, okay, which of your offers is best suited to me? And I'm working that out with not just one, but like multiple women who are the dreamiest people that I could possibly work with. That's one. I had a viral thread the other day and it went viral to the right people. So I got on there, it got like 1,000 likes or something and like 100 replies almost. And everyone basically in the moment I posted on threads that like, we just booked. Oh yeah, because side note, live update, we just booked a month in Spain again for mid-April to mid-May. This is our third year in a row doing a month in Spain. And again, that is the kind of thing that's an embodiment of what I teach. But like, don't think for a second, and I'm glad I had this realization now, but don't think for a second that I'm going over to Spain for a month to on a workcation to only work on the things in my business that aren't the pieces that I love. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, yeah, so my thread went viral to the right people. Everyone was like, "Yes, love this energy. Oh my god, love this for you. Oh, I just booked to go this place. Oh, I just booked a one-way ticket to here." And I'm replying to all these people. I'm like, "You guys are like I'm so glad the internet connected us." And I feel like through that I've made some connections. I'm like, "I want to be friends with you guys." Like that's how it should feel. And isn't it just interesting how that just started to happen as soon as I focus on how business should feel and not getting the hard work done to prove myself or to the people around me. So, this is a big realization. And if you find yourself primarily running your days in a way that doesn't feel good, I really, really, really want you to hear me out on this. Lean into what does feel good. Yeah, sure, there will always be things you got to do that don't feel good in business, but number one, systems, at least you can reduce the amount of time those things take so that more of your calendar can be filled with the stuff that does light you up. And second of all, just be like, okay, well, which of these, if you have two tasks in front of you and one of them feels amazing and like you cannot wait to do that and the other one feels like meh, a drain, like which one are you actually going to do? And be realistic with yourself. Are you going to be like, you know what, I'll get the draining one out of the way so that it's out of the way? Or are you like, I like running my business being lit the fuck up, so I'm going to go pick this fun one over here? Because that leads to so much else. And also, on the back of that viral thread, I've had a bunch of other people, well, a bunch of people follow me on threads, a bunch of people follow me over on Instagram as well from that thread. And I'm pretty sure from the looks of it, they all seem like my kind of people. So there's that. And my couple of subsequent threads after that have also done way better than normal. This is not a coincidence. And sometimes I stray away from talking about manifestation and energy and stuff because that's more on the feminine side of things, whereas what I teach, productivity systems, is all very masculine. But the reason I even teach those masculine things is to allow space for the feminine things. So it's something to think about. And I would love to know your thoughts on this and if you've ever noticed yourself getting into this kind of pattern. And if you didn't notice that you were in this pattern and now this conversation has opened your mind up to that, I would love to know. And like we can have a back and forth about it. DM me on Instagram at More to Life Kate. We can chit chat about it because I could talk about this stuff all day. I really could. The last thing I'm gonna say before I finish up here is next week. Okay, so Project Marge, aka the new membership. My memberships have merged, right? I had two memberships. I had Creator Productivity Lab and Creator Freedom Society. They are merging. I'm in the process of merging them between like today, like between Tuesday of this week just gone and next Tuesday. And on next Tuesday, it opens up to the public. I can't believe I'm saying that because it's been months in the works, and I've put so much intention into what is being included in this membership. The price is so good, and I'm not even going to tell you just yet. I'm not going to tell you just yet. Next Freedom Friday, I'll go into more detail probably, but it is so good. It's cheaper than Create Your Freedom Society was, and you're getting way more. So, and more in a way that doesn't just fluff it up, because I'm quite frankly a bit sick of that on the internet. I think we all are at this point. It's not fluff. Everything included is intentional, and it opens to the public on Tuesday. So, I will leave that thought with you. And I'm going to see you very soon. And you know what? I think it's time that I go have a nap because I was awake from 12:30 to 3:30. My eyebrows twitching. I don't know. Here we are. we're we're getting through it. Look, I did a whole live video without collapsing on the floor. So I think that's a bit of a win. Okay. Have a wonderful Friday and a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.